Hey guys, listen, it's time for Married to Medicine recap. I hope y'all saw it on Sunday night, and I'm glad you're in the building. I see y'all here. Let me just see who's hanging out with us tonight. Hey, listen, I see y'all here for this Married to Medicine recap. I thought it was really good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I think I say this a lot, right? Every single episode cannot be like rah, 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 rah. It was a nice little transition episode to give us a little cool down, I guess, before they get into any mess. Now, listen, this Saturday, which I can't believe it's already going to be September the 10th, which is absolutely insane. Like the days just seem to be spinning by so quickly. But on Saturday, if you can join me, Eastern Standard Time at 1 p.m., an amazing interview. There was this young college student. I don't know if you heard about this story. He lives in the States, originally from Haiti. He was in Haiti visiting his mother while he was still at the University of Texas. There was a baby in the trash can. Well, I'm saying in the trash can. Let me back up a little bit. A baby, like in a pile of trash, and it was just a crowd around looking at the baby. He took that baby. He's trying to adopt the baby, and he's going to be here Saturday with us to tell his story. Amazing story. I mean, to be so young and to take on that commitment, and you still have not finished college yet, it's a great story. So we're going to have the opportunity to talk to him Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But now we got to get into the shenanigans for right now. And the shenanigans that we're about to get into is Married to Medicine recap. Are y'all ready? Because I'm ready. We're going to get into this here. Let me bring my buddy up. Hey, Canelo. You on mute?
I forgot to take myself off mute. Hey, everybody.
Take yourself off mute because we got to get into this. Okay, we got to get into this Married to Medicine recap. We're going to talk. But listen, guys, y'all stand back. I don't know. Maybe they can tell us, but I'm about to bring some heavenly angels into the building, okay? We gotta hang with the heavenly angels, okay?
Look,
here you go. Roy, how you doing? Did you come up here? Why is your screen dark? Let me see. Let me add you back in. Hold on one second, guys. I think maybe it's his his internet seems to be spinning. Maybe he's coming back in. Let me see. Let's add him in here. There you go. I don't know what happened to that other one. Hey. Okay, Curves, I'm about to bring you in the building. They have angels in the building.
Hey, Curves. I have to say this before we get started. I have to say this. Now, we dealt with Team Twirl yesterday. And oh my God, was they in the building stepping on our necks? Please don't jump on us today, y'all. I'm just saying. I still got stiletto heel marks on my neck.
Listen. So hold on. Hey, John. Hey, John. Welcome to the building.
What's going on?
Okay, so listen. Married to and listen, before I get into it, I don't know if you heard on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a gentleman that actually in college found a baby in the trash, and he's adopting that baby boy. I think the boy is actually a little bit older now, but we're going to be speaking to him on Saturday at 1 p.m. Join me if you're free or catch the recap, but it's an interesting story, okay? So now, let's get into this Married to Medicine recap. And we start out with Dr. Damon, Dr. Daddy. Okay, he has a second location to his business. And Dr. Heavenly comes over, brings him lunch, and they kind of talk about the little dispute they have. Now, listen, I will give this to Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon. They definitely have a good, healthy relationship / marriage. They are showing us on this reality TV, how a marriage should go down. They definitely support each other. That's number one. Okay. They definitely know how to, because listen, you're going to have disagreements with your mate. I mean, life is not perfect. Okay. You're not going to agree on everything. But the thing is, you got to know how to fight clean, so to speak. Okay, not rip and tear each other down. And for that, on that note, I will definitely give it up to Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon, because yes, thank you, Felicia. They do respect each
Respect each
other.
other.
Okay, and
Mhm.
what we're seeing is, I think we see too much, at least on the reality shows that I watch. We see too much of the ladies. This is my opinion, guys, so don't come beat me down too much. We see too much of the ladies kind of bashing and tearing down their husbands on the
Oh,
screen, right?
oh,
And,
you ain't
and
lying.
I feel like they're tearing them down because they are, some of them, not all of them, are the higher breadwinners, and it's just a mess. It's getting messy. And to me, you know who you marry. And money should not be the end all be all. I'm not, now finances plays a huge role in relationships, but I'm just saying that if I have $1 and you have 50 cents, but I agreed to get with you, then I shouldn't be bashing you every second because you only have 50 cents. So let's start there with this particular scene with Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly and talking. And to me, they're just a good representation of a healthy relationship. So Curves, I know you're gonna have good things to say because you an angel, but you know a heavenly angel, but go, what do you want to say about this particular scene and their relationship overall? Am I
Give it up
surprised,
to Black
y'all?
Love, hashtag melanated magic, hashtag Black Love, hashtag doing things together, having a helpmate. It's very important. Okay.
See, that's
Okay.
why I was laughing, Diva.
We
That
are
is why I
going
was
to
laughing. I've
The,
been
the
with the
heaven,
church this
the
whole
heavenly,
time.
the heavenly angels are in the building. Okay, the heavenly
definitely.
angels are definitely in the building. But yes, they really do. They really
One
do.
thing I love, I always say it. I have the utmost respect for Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon's relationship because they show us not only are you able to work 13 hours a day, but you can still have time for what you make time for. And if making time for respecting your relationship is top shelf to you, then you could do that too. Take a note, Toya. I hope you got your pen ready, girl, because Toya needs to be taking all the notes she can on how to treat a man from Dr. Heavenly, who's getting some every night.
You better
Okay?
preach. You
Ooh.
better preach. You better
Well,
preach.
let me tell you this. She needs a pen, she needs a notebook, she needs some glasses, she needs help. But we'll get to her. But yes, you are absolutely correct. And I'm in agreement with you tonight
Yeah,
in
like build
regards
people
to
up in
that
your life.
particular scene.
Build
Huh?
people up, build
Yes.
people up. Like Build a Bear.
Mhm.
Build it
Yes.
like Build a Bear, then take it home and love it. Don't
Yes.
tear
Mhm.
things down because then you got to go home with that too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Woo! That's a
You
statement right
better
there.
preach. You
That's
better
a
preach.
statement right there. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Amen to that. Don, what do you have to say about Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon?
This is the perfect example of submitting to each other.
Mm,
They
I like that.
absolutely they submit to each other. Dr. Damon listens to Dr. Heavenly. He may not agree with everything that she says, but he listens to her. He honors her and their marriage.
Mhm.
And we absolutely know Dr. Heavenly honors her husband, Dr. Damon. So this is the perfect example of a husband and a wife submitting to each other. They honor each other. And it's already been said, Kurt's already been said, not just Toya and Eugene, but a lot of other couples on the show can learn from them too. About this submission thing that they used to beat heavily down for. They used to beat her
Mhm.
down for that word. And we just saw and we see how effective it is. It ain't just about shutting up. That's what that people take that out of context.
Right.
But it's just they honor each other, and you can tell.
Hmm.
You can tell.
You can.
Yeah,
You
Cecil,
can.
Cecil and Simone has the years, but I mean, come on, man. I mean, Dr. Damon, that man loves him some buddy.
No, you did not have to
He
do
loves
that.
his buddy.
You did not have to do that. That was
Good.
shade.
But you
Maybe
know
they
what?
get that. Did you
Huh?
guys think maybe they get that buddy from? Remember what was the neighbor that used to come over on that sitcom? And every time the Keisha Knight Pullman's friend would come in, he'd be like,
Oh, buddy,
buddy. You
yeah,
remember?
yeah.
Yeah, maybe they
I
get
I
that.
do.
remember.
Hey, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, bud. That was
So,
funny. I do
but you know what though? Honestly, like separately, and maybe one day when we do trending topics again, we can add relationships to the trending topics because I think people they do miss the point of what it's like to the word submit has a bad name, like it has a bad rap to it, right? But it's not a bad thing, but I
Right.
don't want to get too far off. But both of you made some really good points. Sebastian, I'll go to you next. What did you think about the scene with Damon and Dr. Heavenly?
I love that scene. It was just so great. Like it was great. It showed that it shows that there's potential in their marriage, unlike some that we see on this TV show. Toya and Eugene is the best example of a marriage that will be shattered in pieces in a matter of time. If I was Eugene, I would.
Contessa and Dr. Scott is not too
Oh, that
far
marriage been
behind.
shattered. That marriage been shattered ever since he let her dog her out last season on national television. That marriage already has been shattered.
Yeah, they're kind of hanging on by a thread. Yes. So, Royer, I already know your stance, but go ahead. What do you feel about this scene with Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly?
Is he
Can he
frozen?
hear us? No, he doesn't seem like he is. Can you hear us? You're on mute.
Yeah, he on mute.
Okay, hello. Hey,
Yes,
y'all.
hello, hey.
This has been a rough weekend. Yeah, so forgive
All
me.
right. So
Anyways,
you smile for your moment here, and your hair looks good, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
it does.
thank you.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
how y'all doing? I hope everybody had a great weekend. It's been rough for
Sure
me,
did.
but I'm doing all right. This scene, oh my gosh. Okay. We need a personal platform for Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon to teach
Now
all of
you're
the
going too
reality
far.
of marriage.
Now you're going too
Listen,
far.
listen, listen, listen,
Okay, I'm
listen.
gonna listen.
To teach
I'm gonna listen.
all of the reality stars who are married how
Okay.
you get on TV and you treat your spouse. You put a positive aspect on your marriage, even if it's not positive. Like Heavenly says all the time, what you speak is what's going to happen. The
That's
reason
true.
Heavenly has such a together marriage is because she speaks life, she speaks positivity, she speaks uplifting values into her marriage. Like she says, I'm gonna say me and daddy have sex every night until it happens. I'm gonna tell you me and daddy got a perfect marriage every day until it happens. She speaks it, it happens, manifests. And
Oh,
they need their own
okay.
platform because they could really save some marriages out here. They can really save.
Okay,
Dr.
well,
Damon and Dr. Heavenly, but they have.
okay.
She was there for Simone.
She
When
was.
Simone and
He
Cecil were
was.
going through, she was there, 10 toes down. She was there when Jackie and Curtis had their issue along with Simone.
You're
Even though I feel
correct.
like her and Simone were a lot closer, but her and Heavenly were growing their relationship. And I think that's a lot of the reason of why they're so close today. She was there for Quad, even though Quad's marriage did not
That's
turn out
true.
the way that everybody wanted it to. She was there. They have been there. And I'm sure Dr. Damon in the background has talked to Cecil, has talked to Curtis, and even whatever his name was. So I want to say Eugene, but it ain't Eugene. What's his name?
You talking
Whatever.
about
You
Quad's
talking about
ex-husband?
Quad's ex-husband, yes. I'm sure
Dr.
Dr. Damon
G.
has been a part of helping them too. So hats off to them. They deserve it's you can tell it's not play, it's real. Heavenly was sincere in her apology. I think that's what I love the most is that she said, even because my mom, it's not because my mom was going through. That's not an excuse for me to disrespect you and dishonor you as my husband. So hats off to Dr. Heavenly, hats off to Dr. Damon, and you reality stars and marriages out here in the world. Look at them, see what they're doing, and at least try. Just try it.
Right. Try.
You
Oh
never
yes.
know.
Quad's ex-husband is
Greg.
Greg. Yes.
Greg,
Okay.
yeah.
So Canelo, what did you think about this scene between Dr. Damon and Heavenly?
Now y'all know I have a love-hate relationship with Miss Heavenly. I love her to death. I hate her sometimes.
We
But
know
this was
that.
good. You hush. Don't you get in this conversation. I still got stilettos from you last night. But anyway, this episode was that part was so good. I actually love seeing that. Now this is not her first time showing this, but this is their first time actually having a disagreement on camera. Because out of all the seasons I've seen, never seen her ever have a disagreement. You've seen Toya have so many disagreements with Eugene.
Every
Simone,
episode.
They got reasons to have disagreements.
Simone has, emasculated Cecil in several seasons. You had Quad. She did the same to Dr. G. Even though Dr. G did step out, but, that still didn't give him the right to do so. But she emasculated that man so bad. And it was just like, Heavenly was like everybody said, she's trying to show y'all how you're supposed to treat your husband. You don't go on television emasculating them and then turn around thinking they're going to be, with you the next day. Because Simone almost lost her marriage over which Cecil did, but it was still technically her fault. Because Cecil wasn't working. She didn't get a man a time, to...
Wait, Canelo, maybe I heard you wrong. It was whose fault?
Simone's. It was Simone's fault.
Yes, it was.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because
Simone's fault. What? I missed it.
That her marriage
I'm trying to tell you. That's why I had to stop for a minute.
Because it was Simone's fault.
It's Simone's fault that Tammy was all in the mix of their business.
No, that's not it. No, that's not what I was going to go with that.
All right, go ahead.
What is her fault is when Cecil decided to transition into another job because he had said he got tired of IT. He wanted to do something different. She didn't give the man time enough to try. And don't get me wrong, I know you should be sitting around being lazy and saying that, I'm going to take a month or two off and then look for something. I'm saying when the man decided to transition, he was looking to see if he could find something. She literally dragged that man on television the whole entire time. That's why her and Heavenly got into it, because she was dragging, because Heavenly was dragging him for not working. So
okay, but Canelo, I'm gonna need you to stay focused. You said this was Simone's fault. I'm confused.
She dragged that man every episode that season because he was not working. She emasculated him on national television. I know all of y'all saw it because me and my friend, we talk about it every time. We talked about how she would not, she was, they got those
Canelo, because I got to keep you on track here.
No, I know we got to stay on track.
The train is off the track.
I know.
Yes, come back. Come back. No, Canelo, come back, because how is Cecil cheating on Simone her fault?
No,
you about to get me emotional over here.
That's not where I was going with it, Diva. I didn't say Cecil was right for cheating on her. I didn't say that. I said Simone is the reason why she almost lost her marriage. What I was going with is saying that Dr. Heavenly knows how to do it correctly, and if they would have just, took a page from her, their marriages would be stable. That's why I was going with that, because I'm just saying. So, well, we'll get on Toya in a minute.
Canelo, you cannot be part of the counseling committee, because I don't know what you're talking about right now, blaming this thing on Simone.
No,
I don't care what she said about this money.
This comment right here, Diva.
Right here, yes. Hold on, Canelo, because this is for you. Mary said, no, sir. I disagree, Canelo. Cecil was sneaky and was wrong for taking money without consulting.
Yes. That is true. And I do remember that. I do remember that. That is true. That is true.
She was really
upset about that, but that is true. But what I'm just saying, she did emasculate him. That's what I'm just saying. If y'all could have had that conversation behind closed doors. You didn't need to come on camera.
No. You know why we didn't? Canelo? Because I'm dealing with this Tammy situation. Now you taking money out the account. I don't know if you gave something to Tammy. I don't know if you really used it on this, that, the other. No, we're gonna have this conversation right here, right now. Don't touch the money. Put it back in the account. You don't touch the money without telling me. And let the
Especially when
redeemer
you're
say
not
something.
working.
Yeah, she
They were
said,
Now,
married.
he did have some. Now he did have some money before he left IT. He did
here
have some
we
money
go.
built
Now
up.
you
I
But
know
no,
it.
but
No,
that's not the
they
point,
showed it.
Camilo.
I know the
He
point.
touched that money without Simone's permission. It would have been one thing if that was his own money. As
It
Simone
was
said, that came out of their joint account. So for you not to be working and you gonna go take money out of our account and you didn't talk about it with me, and then on top of that, the business failed too. Oh no, we got a problem.
I was just gonna double back around because I was just gonna say. Now you gotta, if we're gonna talk about Cecil doing it, did Simone dip into the joint finances and went about her that Maserati without asking? But I was gonna use that, but then I know everybody's gonna say, well, did Cecil go in there and take the money out and do what he did with the money? So
Canelo, you
Well, they were
took our
both
train
working
off
too.
track, Canelo.
Yeah.
I'm
no,
gonna bring
I
it
was
back
trying
on
to make
track.
a point.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna bring it back on track and go to Contessa and Scott because you trying to get me worked up and blaming this thing on Simone, and I ain't having it. I'm not having it tonight. Come back, come back. Drink, sip
That
something
was
and tea
not
you
my
got over
intention.
there.
All I can
Do
say,
something. Yes, go ahead, Kurt.
just on Camilo's coattails, what I can say is, just as a married woman, like when your husband is telling you, I need more time with you, and has a best friend that's a lady of 20 years, and then you go get a separate house plus a Maserati, you got
Red
something to do
flag.
with the problem. You got something to do with the problem. That's all I'm
I
saying.
mean, well, I just say
He
they
bears
both
a
had the
little
problem. It was both.
responsibility
It was both
in
their.
some of this stuff. For one, she let that fool have a girlfriend for 28 years or however long they've been married. That would have been when we got married. And for
Yeah,
two, you know what I'm saying? And for
yeah.
two, the other part. So he was
I'm
asking for
being dramatic.
things. And when men ask you for stuff, ladies, when men ask you for stuff that's beyond sex, listen to them, try to hear them, because most of the time they're not just talking out the sides of their neck. Most men, when it comes to an emotional kind of level of what they need, they mean it. And they're asking you, and they'll ask you once, twice. When they stop asking, you better start checking pockets and DMs, because when they stop asking, it's a problem.
Yeah, I mean,
Period.
what the thing
Hold
when
on,
I was
hold on one second. Hold on one second, Canelo. Before I move from this subject, because they trying to kill me, Don. They trying to kill me off. I promise you that. What do you want to add to this conversation real quick? Or should I just move on to Contessa and Dr. Scott?
No, Curves is right. When a man start asking you for time,
Mm-hmm.
that's shots fired.
Mm,
Listen, take heed take heed to that, because usually we ask for sex,
Right.
mm-hmm.
but when we start asking for time, that's big. So yeah, take heed of that. But I don't put, most of this is on 90% of this is on Cecil.
Right.
Come on now.
Because
Yes.
ain't too many black women out here gonna let you have no best friend that's a woman. So he got lucky with that for 20 years.
He
Yeah,
did.
No, that was the best
he
friend.
got lucky for
It
that.
was
And
a
I don't
problem.
know where Tammy's at, and I don't care. So let's carry on. Dr.
I was
I
just
hope
trying to. I was just trying
Tammy
to.
found herself her own man. Get out of here, Tammy. Anyway, Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott, they have a scene. And, I'm going to give it to Dr. Scott. He's right. He said every time you and Heavenly get together, it's a boxing match. Round 1, round 2, round 3. When are you going to knock it off and stop it? He said it's like y'all sisters. Y'all keep just going at it. Now, I will give this to Dr. Contessa. She did say that, everything that Heavenly is going through, she feels for her. She's going to fall back and she understands. So hopefully she stands by her word. That's all I can say with that. Hopefully she stands by her word. Because, Dr. Contessa, too, she's another one. She needs some help. She's confused. She really doesn't know how to be in a marriage. And she's letting, to me, reality TV kind of interfere with her real life. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. You
So,
can't get on this
Diva,
screen, right? Yes.
do you do you see what we've been talking about since the beginning of this
Oh,
season
see,
with
don't do that.
Contessa?
Y'all trying to play games.
Exactly.
Y'all
Bro,
had
Exactly.
y'all had
Diva.
a Zoom meeting. No, 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 no.
Listen,
Y'all
you
had
took
a
the
Zoom
words.
Whole
meeting
You took
before
the
this
words
was
right out
going
of my mouth
live.
because I was about to say it.
this
No,
whole
Right
thing,
here is
Diva.
crazy.
Like,
y'all coming for me. Y'all coming for
Heavenly's
me.
my
No,
sister.
y'all
I
had a
love
Zoom
her
meeting
so
before this
much.
live, and I'm not appreciating it.
No,
Y'all
we
had a
gonna
meeting.
call. No, Heavenly's my sister. I love her so much. I reached out to her. I didn't know what was going on with her mom. I didn't know. Girl, you sitting up here telling all of these stories and it's not adding up. Heavenly said in her live 2 weeks ago, she don't know what to believe. 1 minute Contessa cool with her. The next minute Contessa cussing her out. The 1 minute she's sending her text message telling her how much she love her and how much she care for her. The next minute they at battlefield about to throw down. I mean, it's the back and forth, the confusion. And like I said last week, I really think that Scott loves this confusion that's going on between them. Because Curves, I was listening to what you were saying last week about the popcorn and how he was sitting back, but instead of popcorn, it was really lobster. You know, he sat back that whole scene and allowed Contessa just to create mayhem and
He
foolishness.
did.
Oh,
Not
see,
one
y'all,
time did he try
now
to
y'all going too
step.
far. Now
No,
y'all
No,
going
that's
because
too
true. I
you
far.
said
remember
it
that.
No,
last
no,
He
no.
week. You
did.
said it last week.
I'm gonna have to
You
clip
said
some
it last
wings.
week, Diva.
No,
You
no,
said
I'm
it
gonna have to
last
clip
week
some wings
that he
because
didn't
y'all
even
going too far.
try. He didn't even try to piggyback on what Damon was saying. He sat there and just he didn't even try.
You know why
Damon
he
was
didn't
making a great
try?
point. He was making a great
Did
point.
you hear Dr. Scott when he was talking to when he went with the men? He said, "Listen, I learned my lesson. I'm staying out of the ladies' business." So
But that
that's why
wasn't
he
ladies'
sat there
business.
mute. That's why he
That
sat
was
there
him and
mute and he was
Damon.
a little frozen. He didn't want to get in it. He wanted those two ladies to handle their business because in the past, when he got in the business, people wanted to say to him, "You shouldn't be in the ladies' business." So that's why he sat there. Can somebody help me, please?
So
I'm
Damon
gonna
should
say
have
that's
have
true. I'm
Damon
gonna
just
say
said
that is
nothing at
true.
all.
I'm gonna say that is true. But however, that wasn't ladies' business right there because,
Right.
like what Roy is
Right,
saying. Hold
right.
on,
Because
Diva,
Damon
before you chop
started
my
it.
head off, Damon was telling them. He was like, "Look, they was giving marital advice. It wasn't like Heavenly and Contessa were outside duking it out, and then they tried to get in between them. He was telling them, he was going after Heavenly and Contessa saying, what y'all doing is BS. Y'all, you got to learn to come together instead of fighting each other. And Contessa got combative, and everybody saw this. She got combative and said,
As
"Oh my
always.
Combative, combative.
As
combative, yes,
always.
ma'am. She
Y'all
got
are
combative
so
with Daddy.
messy.
She
Can
got
I use the
combative.
right word?
No,
Can I use the
What?
right
Yeah,
word?
go
No,
ahead,
don't say
Sebastian.
aggressive.
She was
no,
she was aggressive. Okay.
I'm
no.
gonna say
What
don't say
I
that.
I
used the
don't want
right
to say
word.
it,
I
but she
used
was
the right
aggressive.
word last week. She went and
That
got those
testosterone.
testosterone shots. That's what she did.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Warn me when you do that. Warn me.
Listen, Abby's child, thank you. Thank you. Scott was trying to find his place, and that's why he was mute. And Dr. Damon, listen, I like Dr. Damon, but he didn't use his words 100% correctly at that dinner. Because when he first started talking, everything he was saying sounded like he was talking about his wife, okay? So it was a whole lot of confusion. His message that he was trying to get across, it was mixed. It didn't come across well at the table. Now y'all gotta admit that. So
I think
therefore,
it would have
if
been
you can't
disrespectful though if
express
he would have came
yourself,
off.
say that
I
again.
think it would have been disrespectful if he would have came off speaking to
Contessa.
especially Contessa because we
Y'all
seen how she
messy.
reacted with him just speaking to Heavenly. So I feel like he had to do it that way because if he didn't, we still would have got a rah-rah out of Contessa and it may have been a real fight because
Y'all messy.
Heavenly don't play disrespect to her man.
Y'all being so messy
No,
tonight.
we
Let
not.
the redeem wait, hold on 1 second. Let the redeem say so. Say so. That Scott needed to check his wife. Why
Thank
did
you.
he have to check Contessa?
Because she started it.
Because she was
Because
out
the
of
first thing came
order.
out her mouth is, "Are you talking to your wife?
You
Are you
talking about
talking to Heavenly?"
Heavenly?
That was the first thing came out of her mouth. She did not
Why
even
was that even
listen.
necessary to say?
She,
It was
right,
it
she
was
didn't even
evident though that
listen.
he was talking directly to Heavenly. He said, "Sometimes I don't think my wife understands how words hurt." Like he was speaking. It would have been. I feel like if he would have, like I said, came off to everybody, then the whole world would have been like, "Why is Damon attacking her? He shouldn't attack women. That's not his place to say." So he had to come from a place of speaking to Heavenly, but it applied to everybody else, which is why a dog don't hit. I mean, bark at a hit car, you know. So
No,
she had to
hit
say,
dog will holler.
yeah, hit dog and holler. There you
That
go.
side BK, thank you for the super sticker. Let me just add this. When and somebody else's husband is talking, and then I say something, and then his wife gonna tell me to shut the F up and let their husband speak. You calling for a war right there. You
That
calling
was
for a
fighting.
battle.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
Dr.
true.
Heavenly, you don't tell me to shut up and let your husband speak. I get to speak too. Okay. So
But Diva,
yes.
what did testosterone say when Dr. Damon was talking? She just didn't say, well, excuse me. She didn't say excuse me. She got loud and belligerent with him. She got real
It said that
ignorant
she was
with
a
him.
man. Well,
Yeah,
maybe I'm a man.
she
Oh,
got
she
real
puffed that
ignorant
chest
with
out
him.
like this.
Yeah.
She was like,
She ain't put
Well,
her
maybe I'm a
finger
man
up.
because I'm just
She ain't
ready
put
to
her
go.
finger
We
up
can
and
go.
say, "Excuse me, can I say something, please?"
I
She
got
ain't
the
say
same
that.
credentials as
I'm,
him. I got the
and
same
Yeah, I
credentials.
got the same credentials as you. Woo, 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 woo. You know, she showed
That
the
Dunn
hair on
ain't
her
lying,
chest.
and Dunn is not lying because
He
I'm
don't.
telling you, the first thing came out of Contessa's mouth, and he was like, "You guys got to stop this." He was saying it to all the women. She was like,
Right.
"I
Everybody.
hope you talking to your wife. I hope you talking to your wife. I know you talking to her." And I mean, yes, Heavenly was wrong for what she said. Heavenly should have never told her to shut the F up. She
And
should have
Dr.
just
Dan,
said,
Heavenly didn't tell.
and he told her
"Oh
Heavenly
that.
did
wait,
not tell him to shut.
I
She
thought
said, "Contessa, shut up." Contessa said, "You shut the f up." That's
I'm about
how it
to."
got all
Oh,
started.
okay. Cause I'm about to look at that
See, now
again.
this is
But
all Contessa's fault. Y'all
Right,
made
it
No,
it
it
is
is.
wasn't
Contessa's
Contessa's
fault.
It
fault.
It
It all
is
was
because
her.
Dr.
It is.
Damon was talking
She
peaceful
wrote it
and
deep and
quiet.
down like this.
Okay, hold on, guys, because we got to be able to hear everybody. So it's all of y'all against me because y'all saying it's Contessa's fault. I hear y'all, but whatever. In this particular scene,
We
okay,
still love
Dr.
you.
Scott tried to talk some sense into his wife and say, listen, y'all gotta calm down. You gotta figure this thing out. Y'all like sisters, because he knows at the end of the day, probably all the time that they spent together as couples, and he's like, this is ridiculous, right? Let's get it together. Contessa just was frustrated. You know what, Chris? Thank you. She wants to be more than sisters with Dr. See, you know what? I didn't read the last. I can't do
Lord
this with
Chris.
you.
You know
Whatever,
what
Chris,
now?
don't do that.
Lady.
Don't do that. I
It's
thought you was
shady.
connected with me for a minute. Yeah, I thought you was connected with me for a minute. Don't do that.
Hey,
So,
Diva.
I love
but
Chris. He is just a shady.
yeah, shady. But I do feel like Dr. Scott was trying to pull this thing together. Go ahead, Roy. Yeah.
So, since we're saying that Dr. Scott was trying to pull this together, don't you
Yes,
think it
we
would
are.
have been appropriate for him at the dinner to say, "Hey, Contessa, maybe we can pull this back and listen to what Damon is saying," or maybe he could have piggybacked on what Damon. I just really do not think that he wants peace between him and Heavenly, because if he gets peace between him and Heavenly, then
Then
Contessa
he's
may
back in the
see,
hot
well,
seat.
maybe it wasn't Heavenly, maybe it was actually you causing the issues this whole time.
Distraction.
You know what, D?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Deflection.
See, you know what? We're gonna have to get upgraded here so we can roll back some footage. D, thank you, because
First.
I thought I saw it this way too. Dr. Heavenly told Dr. Contessa to shut the F up first.
I
No,
thought
no.
I
I thought I
remember
heard.
that.
Actually, I think I
remember
did
that.
hear it that way, Roy.
Yeah, I
I
thought
just
I heard
watched
that
it
first.
today. I
I
promise
think
you.
I
She
did
said,
hear it
"You
that
shut
way,
up."
but
Yeah,
I
because
feel
she
like
came back and
Because
said,
she
"You
told me to
shut
shut
the
the
F
F
up."
up to let my husband speak.
she would
That's
have.
all.
He did.
Listen, I'm
Because she
just
doesn't
trying to
allow
tell
people
you.
to disrespect her husband.
Well, you know,
Right.
but that ain't the way you ask somebody to be quiet and let your husband speak.
Speak.
So
Let me
Yeah.
say this
listen,
right quick.
go
Let me
ahead,
say
go
this
ahead,
right
John.
quick because Dr. Scott said the same exact thing that Dr. Damon said when he went to her office. So why couldn't he say that when all of them
Thank
were sitting
you.
at the
Thank
table?
you, the
Can
dog.
I tell you
Thank
why?
you.
Can I tell you why?
Because
Are
he
y'all
liked the
gonna
mess.
connect with me? You're gonna
He liked
connect
the
with me
mess.
here. This
Really?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because right before that, I believe a question was asked about something about how they met, when they met, or something like that.
Oh yeah,
And
and he
Dr.
didn't answer.
Scott didn't get it right the first time out of his mouth. And Contessa had showed some, already she
Yeah,
was like,
that's
a
true.
little
Yeah,
messy with him. So
that's
at that
true.
point, he was like, listen, I'm trying, and this is what I'm thinking, he's thinking in my head. I'm trying to get our marriage back on track. I'm trying to be a good guy here. She got emotional about this little piece of information. I'm not going to, at this point where there's a lot of tension, try to stop her in this particular moment. And that's why he had this nice scene where he came to our office and said, knock it off, babe. Y'all supposed to
Yeah.
be friends. Give Dr. Scott a break. Everything can happen in the moment, in the heat of the moment. Okay. And you see Dr. Damon Daddy, he dropped a bomb at the dinner. And then because he messed up, because he couldn't communicate well, he left the building. And when he left the building, he left chaos behind. Now I know you love Daddy, and I ain't got
That
no problem
Contessa
with him,
started.
but you
They
Thank
had
got
to
to
you.
leave the
think.
chaos behind that Contessa started.
Started.
They
No,
Right,
had to leave
right.
it.
no, don't do
Because
that.
like
No,
Heavenly said,
no,
had
no,
they
no,
stayed,
no.
Heavenly saved her
Daddy threw
life.
bombs
Had
at the
they
dinner.
stayed,
Daddy threw bombs, and then he said, "Come on, baby, let's go. Come on, buddy, let's
Did
leave.
he throw
Come on, buddy,
bombs?
let's leave."
because
So
Did he
had
throw
he
yes,
stayed
bombs?
at the dinner,
He just threw a
like he said,
landmine. That's
It,
all
Heavenly
he
says
it
did.
it
wasn't
all
a
the time.
bomb.
Dr.
He,
Daddy don't play. He don't play
yeah,
like the rest of them. So had he stayed
He
at the
just
dinner
gets
and
up
it
and
went
leaves.
left, yeah, he would have probably ended up fighting Scott because Contessa probably would have tried to fight Heavenly, and it just would have been a whole
right,
situation.
right.
So
I
he
kind of,
knows that he had to take him and his wife and exit stage left, but
yeah.
they turned that scene out for real, for real.
But
I
I
at
think,
see
least
how
I
this
think,
is going to go
And
with
I'm
the
looking up to
heavenly
see who
angels.
told shut up first. So I'm gonna let y'all know
okay,
because
Yeah,
I'm on here looking.
okay.
look, because we already know. We already know it was heavenly. We already know it was heavenly. But you know what? I see how this is going to go.
Thank you,
Dr.
Pierre.
Damon and Dr. Heavenly can do no wrong in your eyes, but
It's
it is
oh
what
no,
it
not.
is.
that's not
It's
true.
not.
That
We're
is
going
not
to move
I
on.
true.
feel
We're
like
going to move on. Yes.
I kind of feel like Scott did a misservice by not being authentic and owning his part in why everybody sees him crazy. And
He never owns his
he
part.
he did not do anything in girls' business last year. That was a total lie. So I don't feel like he was really trying to connect on anything other than some more BS about how it's Heavenly's fault for what him and Contessa said all season. And I was watching the freaking or
Reunion.
documentary on her Robin, insatiable, Mike Tyson. And when Mike Tyson and Robin Givens did that Barbara Walters interview,
Yes.
Barbara said, "Can he be violent?" And Robin Givens says, "It's volatile." And that's the same word that Contessa and Scott used repeatedly to describe themselves. So they're self-aware enough to use that word, but then not self-aware enough to know their part in why, and what's going on. Heavenly had nothing to do with why everything blew up in Scott's face. Scott's attitude, his evasiveness, his freaking female coach,
Yeah.
life coach that nobody knew, his
And
naked DMs that he had no problem showing to other men on camera. Please, Heavenly is
and
the least of his worries. Scott needs to worry more about himself and being accountable and true to what he's talking about instead of playing on what we are playing on, which is semantics. Nothing about girls' business was his problem last year. He was his problem.
Oh,
and
wow.
then to
Go ahead,
pick it back
Camilla.
off of that, remember at the reunion, he had questions about cheating that we never got answers to. Everybody was sitting there looking at him. Did you cheat? Well, the, mum's the word at that point, but he's not answering questions. That everybody, because even Contessa sat in when they was in Virginia, she sat there and said, "I don't never know what nobody's doing," because
Right.
I mean not Garcelle, but Giselle asked, "Do you know if he's cheated?" She didn't even know. But when he gets to the reunion and the question is asked, mum's the word. So cat got your tongue now, but you saying everything else during the season. You
Right.
got these receipts showing that you got this lady as your life coach, but your wife don't know about it. So I'm just saying. I mean, I like
Because she
Scott.
was in another state when he hired the life coach. But wait, let me just read this really quick. D said, Buddy wasn't listening to Daddy. Hello, thank you, D. I appreciate you. So he had to remove himself from the dinner. Thank you, D. I
Nope.
appreciate it.
I just watched the scene.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
just went back and watched the scene. It started at 36.55, and he said, Dr. Damon said, I hate what's happening between you and Contessa.
Okay.
And Mr. Contessa said, why? I mean, I hope you. He said, I hope you directing that to your wife. And Dr. Heavenly said, can you please shut up while my husband is talking? And Dr. Contessa said, you shut the fuck up.
Oh, I was wrong. Okay.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Are you sure
Yep.
Dr.
You can
Heavenly
go
didn't
back.
use a first word? Go ahead.
You can go back to you're gonna have to go exactly to 27 minutes and 32 seconds to
I
see
could have
this in the
sworn that
episode.
I heard because see the
I did
rebuttal
too.
was you shut the
I
F
knew
up.
what I was talking about. Y'all not. Now you know,
Because
auntie is my auntie, and I know my auntie. She did not
What?
tell Contessa to shut the F up.
It took
Okay,
Contessa
okay.
told her.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Listen to
So
it.
I stand corrected. I stand
I
corrected.
stand corrected
Okay.
because I thought I heard it too.
Listen.
Yes, yes.
Is to not.
Hold on. It's coming.
Here's what it really comes down to. This is a perfect example. How many times did I say, just stop? Just now. A bunch of them. But you didn't. That's a lack of respect. I'm going to say something, and I don't want to start something up. It bothers me to my core that you two have this bullshit going on.
It's not bull.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It's real. I'm not your wife. Don't lecture me. We in the same place. We make the same amount of money, and we do the same damn thing. Like, dude, I'm gonna need you to keep it in your household. We good. Damon, you are taking your wife's side. You are.
Jessica, can you respect the man enough to shut up and let him
You shut the up, Heavenly.
I told you I knew Contessa said it first.
Well, that makes me even happier because she was really on her P's and Q's that night after her mom was in hospital trying to play it safe.
Yeah.
And that red-headed demon just wouldn't let up.
Exactly.
Fifi, thank you. Fifi,
As
I
you
appreciate
see,
you. Fifi, I'm so glad
no.
you're in the building tonight. Thank you, Fifi. I appreciate it. And listen, y'all brought the facts, so I'm gonna roll with the facts, even though I feel like Fifi was some editing going on behind the scenes. But we're gonna move on. Okay? I'm getting corrected, okay? So listen, we're gonna get to this scene with Audra and Dr. Martin, okay? They're planning their wedding. They are making first time rookie mistakes, right? And first time rookies, what they do is they come on and they spend way too much money. Okay. Drew did it. She was in a nice house. Nothing was wrong with her house that she was in, but then she had to go buy this big old house. Okay. And then now her whole lifestyle is dependent on staying on Roa. Just my opinion. So now here we have the rookies, Audra and Martin. They got married during the pandemic. But now they're gonna have this big shindig, and it's a shindig because the budget was 60,000, but they're 50 to 60,000 over budget. I mean, do the math here. They got a $25,000 flower invoice. The linen is $35 to $40 per table, and they owe a balance of 40K just to have a redo of the vows, even though you're already married. I think it's, even if you have the money, I think it's a lot. It seemed too much for me. It's first time rookie mistakes, if you ask me. I'm like, good googly mind. That's a big wedding that you're doing to already have said I do. We got to talk about this little wedding scene for 1.2 seconds.
Can I go first with this?
Yes, you can. Go ahead,
All
Don.
right. So I've been to quite a few Nigerian weddings, and Diva, they go big or they don't even have it. It's just like I mean, I've never seen a Nigerian wedding that has been half-assed.
Simple.
Like
Mhm.
everything is over the top, everything, and
Mhm.
their whole family pitch in. So I don't see them two
Mhm.
coming out of pocket themselves.
Right.
Their mom, I see their parents helping them with this because their parents, it's for their parents too, you know. And you know, Nigerians, they do it big. I mean, real big. So I think it's cultural for them.
$25,000 flower invoice.
Yeah,
And
You're already 60,000
and the
over
food gonna be
budget, and
good.
you still owe 40K. I mean, I've been to some elaborate weddings, and at the end of the day, you know what? And everybody's going to do what they got to do, right? But at the end of the day, you can't even eat that much food in 5 to 6 hours. You just cannot. I've been to a wedding where the cocktail hour had enough food to feed you for days.
Yep.
It's a waste of money. It was a beautiful wedding, right? But then it had an ice cream stand at dessert time. It had the wedding cake, an ice cream stand, a coffee stand, a this stand, a that stand. I mean, how much food can you eat?
you
But it was
did.
beautiful. It was beautiful. I never been anything like it. I had an amazing time. But we got to be a little bit realistic here. 25,000 flower invoice, 50 to 60,000 over budget. You still owe 40K. You just got up on this show, and at the end of the day, what is she? She's a lawyer, and
Yeah,
he's a
she's really.
doctor. Come on, guys. How much does the parents have to chip in? $90,000 so y'all can say I do. Let me tell you something. When we see this wedding, we see this wedding on this TV, I'm telling you, it better be all that. It better be. I better see
Diva.
with the law. I better be seeing everything. But go ahead, Canilla. What do you want to say?
I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be a 3-part girls trip to Nigeria and Ghana, and we're gonna see the wedding go from Nigeria to Ghana. So it's gonna be first day in Nigeria, second day
See,
in Ghana.
Canelo, let me bring
I'm
you
just,
back the train back on the track. She said that the people are flying.
I'm just saying. Look, I'm saying it's a girls trip. You said it better be good, so I'm telling you it's a girls trip.
No,
It's
but
gonna be
did
a
you
3.
listen
I
to
know.
that? He said everybody's flying here for the wedding.
I know, but I was
He
being
said
funny.
black
I was being
excellence.
facetious when I said that. I know
All
they
right,
come.
babe.
I was doing it
You
was
know I
flying,
gotta
but
mess
I was
with
just.
you. Curves, what do you think about this
Okay,
wedding?
well, first it's 114 where I am, so it's hella hot. So I'm like, ooh, okay.
No
But
worries.
I feel like I'm cheap, y'all. I'm cheap. I can't see spending $100,000 on something when the top three reasons people get divorced is sex, money, and kids, and you starting off at 100,000 in debt. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. You're stressing yourself out. Take that money, invest it in something fantastic, get yourself a nice return, and take a couple of trips some years down the road. Save that money. Those people don't care that you got married. They're not going to remember the food you fed them. They're not going to care about none of this in 3 years. The only people that are going to care are the people that are there left to pay. And while it is maybe for the parents and everything, the parents been here long enough to know that's too much money for a damn wedding for some people that don't even care and aren't going to remember.
Yeah, it's I like to do elaborate things too, but I just was like, then you see Dr. Martin, you got to bring a suitcase of gifts. That brother, but he loves her. But hold on, it says back parents just said it better look like the wedding on Coming to America. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Sebastian, what do you want to say about this wedding?
Well, it's supposed to be a over the top wedding. This is a cultural thing, and that's what they're gonna have to do. It's not something that is just because they want to do it over the top. It's just it has to be over the top due to
Oh,
show. Oh, some kid was robbed. Uh,
It's I think it might be a storm warning or something. But go
uh,
ahead.
yeah. So
they're
it
going to
was.
cut our power. So if I go off, it's because we're having
Okay,
water.
I understand. Yeah, I figured it was a storm warning, right? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Sebastian.
Yeah, they're always extravagant these weddings, and it's just something that's gonna have to happen. And if she's gonna have to go into debt, well, that's the whole point. The whole point is to show that their child is getting married to their lawyer child is getting married to a doctor. That's the whole point. As she said, in those cultures, if you're not a doctor, lawyer, or engineer, you're nothing. So it has to be an over the top wedding.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
Well,
That is so true.
can we not do over the top on a budget though?
Nope.
I'm
It has
just
to be over the
Baby,
top.
if it's $1 million wedding, diva, it's gonna be $1 million. They don't
It's
care.
Really?
Go ahead, Sebastian.
So if it
no,
is
no, they can't because if you checked it, they changed that linen. They looked at some cheaper
the
linen.
same price here
Hold on,
and in Africa, it's the same price, right? It translates the same. So 100,000 here is 100,000 there.
I believe so.
Yeah,
But
save
I'm
your
at-
money, y'all. The people don't
But I
care.
do have to say this. Martin did make that joke. He was like, look, when them gifts at Ross are on sale, he will drag them down the aisle, but then after the wedding, he would take them right on back.
He sure did.
They
He
go
sure did.
right back.
He keeping it 100. He keeping it 100.
I don't blame you.
Roya, did you comment on this wedding?
I did not, but I agree with Sebastian and the Don. This is their culture. This is what they do. So I'm pretty sure mom and dad have been saving up for this because they know that they have to do this. And he's a dentist. From what Heavenly says, dentists make money quicker and easier than a regular doctor because
They do.
they're, and especially if he's not taking insurance, if he's just taking straight cash, he got this in the bag.
Not all dentists are equal. And it depends on what type of dentistry you're doing. Now, if he's a cosmetic dentist, okay, I'm gonna give it to him, but I need to see his work. We got to Google him. But I'm not getting from them. And listen, this is me. I'm just keeping it facts here. 100. I'm not getting from them that type of money at this moment. I'm not, but I could be wrong.
Well, see, but I don't think they will be paying for. I really do think that majority of it, most Nigerian and cultures, Indian cultures as well, mom and dad kind of really take the reins on that and take the money portion
and the dowry
of that as well.
We're forgetting the dowry.
Yes.
Well.
Okay. So
we're cool with this wedding. Okay. Let's see if the balance. Let's see if the balance. Go ahead, Sebastian.
If she's having money issues, she could just go into Heavenly Investment Group. That's it.
She's already a part of it, actually.
That part.
Oh my God. Let's carry on.
A part of it. So that's why I'm not even really worried about it because I already know she's part of it.
I want to see if this 40K balance gets paid. And I want to see her wedding dresses and all of that. But we'll carry on. Everybody is okay with the wedding. You're telling me it's the culture, so I'm going to be okay with the wedding. This wedding better be cute. It better be all that. It better be a 100K wedding when I see it with my eyes on this TV. But
look at what Wanda said. Look at what Wanda said. Look at what Wanda said in the chat.
What did Wanda say? Yes, they believe in spending the money because remember Wendy's daughter blessing. The Wendy's daughter blessing was not
big
that sophisticated. That's it.
See if he has his bathroom again.
It was okay. Yeah, but I do remember. Thank you, Wanda. Okay, so people really go into debt over weddings. Yes, they do. That could be a whole nother conversation that we can have. Yes, they do, and I think it's insanity. I don't mind you having yourself a nice shindig, but when you have it to the point where it's over the top, it's too much. Yeah, Candace's wedding was 100K. Yeah, but
that's the girl that you keep defending, Candace, the girl that you like to defend, Diva. Yes, her wedding was 100K.
No, but hear me, guys, because I wrote this down. They had a $60,000 budget. They said, and they said they were already 50 to 60,000 over budget. So that means that we're at 120,000 already. Then they said they had a $25,000 flower invoice. I'm taking that as we're at $145,000, right? Then there's a balance of 40K. Like, whoa, but maybe we'll get. And they didn't give us. I was listening closely. They didn't give us the final bill. They just told us what was owed. Do you see how slick they got with that? They told us what was owed. They didn't give us the final budget. It was kind of messy. It was kind of slick. But we're gonna and Wendy did not have a big party. She didn't. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna keep our eyes on this. Yes.
Toya needs to DM me for her present. She won the rainbow fluorite. She knows what I'm talking about. Please DM Toya.
DM her, Toria. Okay. So now we got to go to Anila and her mom. They were driving. The
Oh
mom is a
God.
hot mess. The mom is about to give us some reality TV. Anila, I'll say it again. What an addition, a great addition, her and her family. They almost crashed while she was driving. Anila can't do anything on her own. She need a driver. She need a nanny. She needs somebody to help dress her in the morning and remind her your name is Anila. Yeah, she's a mess.
Oh my God.
We need to drag her. She needs to be dragged.
She's a mess. Okay.
She needs
So
to be
anyway,
dragged. We
Oh
don't
my
drag
she,
her.
God.
We
she
don't
is
drag her
building
flesh.
in this day and age, she is building a brick and mortar store, so to speak. She's doing this Indian raw hair. She wants it to be a luxury experience. I'm gonna say this. Her mom is a little messy, but she was asking the right questions. She was like, "How much is this floor? How do you clean the floor?"
Just
These
like
are
Mama
important
Joyce was.
questions. These are important questions. She was like, "I've never seen anybody have this large of a storage room in the store." So the storage for the hair seems like it's going to be bigger than the actual space where they're going to be selling the hair, right? Then they had this whole, I guess, VIP room. Then the mom wanted a kitchen in there. And listen, the two men that were fixing up this store or designing this store, they were creative characters. But you know, it's gonna be what it is, right? So I do like the idea of the store, but I think Anila should have started out online. Because she can't even watch her kids and blog. Who is going to be in this store? Who's going to be in this store? Who's going to be
Toria.
labeling this hair and putting this hair up and doing this luxury experience with people? This is messy, messy, messy. And Toria, yes, mommy is dirty, dirty, dirty.
Yes, she
But
is.
you know what though? The mom is dirty. That's all. But Anila and her husband knew that before mom came into that house, right? They knew that mom was dirty. But mom did ask the right questions. Anila is ignoring her, and I'm a little afraid. I like the idea of her selling this hair. I think this store is going to be over the top. And low key, Anila and Toya are the same way. Just Anila does it in a different way than Toya, right? Because Anila is spending the money too. Because that store is definitely going to be luxury. You can tell by the floors, okay? And that is a lot of square footage. It's a lot going on, but she's doing this store. What do you think about this store?
Well, I'm here in Georgia, so I haven't seen it yet. So maybe it's still in development. But the store, it looked like it's gonna be good. And I'm gonna say this: I am kind of hoping that Anila can get this together because it would, help her money problems because her husband don't like her spending the money. So this would be another little side hustle for her as well. Now for Miss Manjula, when she comes in there giving her 3 cents that was not asked about having a kitchen back there, the guy said that is unsanitary. Why would you have hair with food? That's unsanitary. That would get them shut down real quick. So, I mean, I'm hoping that this works out for her. But yes, as everybody was dragging Anila, she can't cook, she can't take care of kids, she can't sew, she can't do nothing but cry about how she can't take care of her kids. I'm just lost for words. I just
Go ahead, Roya. What do you think about this? This store?
I'm so confused with Anila as far as the career. I mean, we want to blog, we're doing clothes, we doing hair now. I feel like, are we doing something to create a storyline for next season? It's giving me a little copycat from Auntie Heavenly.
It is.
I didn't catch that.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know. I think this driving in the car situation is just like I said, what can Anila do? We can't drive, we can't cook, we can't clean, we can't be a mom. What I just feel bad for Kiran and the kids because he married a child. I mean, she might as well be one of the kids. It's I love Anila. I love her family. I love the comedic value that they give to the show,
yes,
but
Right.
yes.
it's giving me trying and like you say, Diva, all the time. I'm tired of the repetitive stuff on the Housewives. We've seen hair
nothing original, right?
across the stage. Yeah, we've seen it.
Yeah,
So
nothing original. Don, what do you think about Anila opening this store?
I think everybody has taken a pill from Dr. Candy. Everybody's taking her class. You know, you got to strike while the iron is hot.
That's true.
You
That's
know,
true.
these ladies have really studied her. Every season, you got to come with a business. You don't know how long you're gonna be on this show, so you gotta be ready. You got to be ready. Have your business. I don't think she's gonna be there. I think she may be the face of it. I think those other two gentlemen may be more of the hands-on.
Right.
I think, you know, because a lot of these women, they are the face of these businesses. You know, they're the social media people. You know, they bring the people there, but she may not be hands-on with it.
Right.
She might have put some money in it, you know, as far as the building and, you know, but I don't think she, you know, will be as hands-on as Heavenly is. But I say strike while the iron is hot.
Inspired her, I believe.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was about to say. I was going to say how we don't know that, you know, Anila, Dr. Heavenly didn't, you know, get Anila into it because, like I said, you're not going to be on here but for the season. You don't know how long you're going to be here. So strike while the iron is hot, like Dunn is saying, because if you don't, you'll be like Toya.
It's just giving me very much Drop It With Drew vibes. Like, am I wrong?
Right.
Well, she knows about hair because she wears hair extensions.
Yeah, I agree to say that.
I mean, well, Drew said she was a track star and she works out a lot.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
Drew is different too, but we not gonna go there. Okay, but we're not gonna go there. So anyway, so now Dr. Jackie, they squeezed Dr. Jackie in because I guess they had to give her a scene for some reason. But I will say this: Dr. Jackie told about her business. Right? She met the ladies at the podcast, and she taught the ladies into get, you know, their lady parts checked because they haven't been checked in years. So give it up for Dr. Jackie. She had 2 minutes on this episode. Thank you, Dr. Jackie. Okay, so Dr. Karen. He threw an event for the guys, right? You know what I'm telling you? These two don't sleep on these two. Right. They about to come up and take over Mary the Medicine. Okay, they doing their thing. They not shy about right. They not shy about doing their thing. So and Cecil got a little jealous because he was like, "Listen, you better do good because I'm usually the one that throw the events for the guys." Well, step over, Cecil, because Dr. Karen is here. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He had burgers. He told them to come dressed like. Did he say Dapper Dawn or Dapper Dan? What did he say?
Dapper
Look at him with the lingo. Look at him with the lingo. He know how to hang with the people. Okay. He told them get dapper. He had burgers. He had drinks. He had the massage table. If you wanted to get some Botox, he had Botox for you. Okay. And then here, what is Jackie's husband name? What is his name? Curtis talking about don't touch my car, my wife. Well, Curtis, listen, just 72 hours ago, you was touching somebody other than your wife, so we're going to need you to calm down.
Go off, Diva. Go off. And then Jackie had the nerve to be talking about, now catch that. Like, girl.
Thank you. I'm like, Jackie, I know you smarter than that. You should not be co-signing with
the time to open up your mouth.
Just shut up. Exactly. Like 72 hours, okay? Don't touch my car, my wife.
Okay.
No. Listen to your own advice and don't touch other people, Curtis. Okay?
Don't touch other people.
So whatever though. But I
close your legs to marry with.
Oh my God, Roy, Ian, you are nasty.
But you know what? He did his thing at his event. That was his first event, and he came there dressed up. He was ready. And you know, Dr. Scott said, "Listen, I don't want no problems with nobody. Our wives are, you know, beefing. We're gonna leave that there, and it's gonna be what it is." And do we like Dr. Martin? I guess you know we're gonna give him an opportunity to fit in. Does anybody want to comment on that scene and Dr. Karen, you know, doing his thing for his event? Go ahead, Camilla.
I gotta go first. Look, Dr. Karen, I'm telling y'all, like Diva said, do not sleep on them. Kiran tickled the mess out of me. Kiran went with him, Cecil, and with him, Cecil, and Curtis was standing in the hallway. He wanted everybody to go get Botox. Nobody wanted to do Botox. So he said, every time I have something, nobody. So he said, every time something new comes out, I always have Anila to try it out because she's my pink cushion. In the confessional, she said, look, y'all, I have no wrinkles in my head since I've met
You want to see
him.
my mean face?
And he said, mine's a triple since I've been with you. I'm telling y'all, Kiran is a jokester. And not only that, when they got back in the room, Martin was getting a massage by the lady. Curtis took the lady from over there, and Dr. Kiran was over there just touching the ears, rubbing the back. And they was like, how? And they was like, how was your massage? He said, it went from hard to soft. This feels really good. And they just bust out with the laugh, and he looked up, he was like, oh, y'all just play too much. It was funny. It was, I mean, they didn't take it seriously. It was just so much fun to see the guys do that. I love seeing that. I wish the ladies could do this. I really wish they could, because it would, even though you got to have a little drama,
right?
That scene made it so much better for this episode. In my opinion.
I think sometimes in real life, though, the guys can get along a little bit better than the ladies. It could be a little bit messy. Anybody else? Any comments on this scene, the guys' night out?
Yes, this was fun. I have been really enjoying. I think you said it a couple weeks ago, Diva. The men coming together for their scenes have been just on point. Every week, the past like 3 weeks, I thought it was very fun to see a different side. Like, it's nice to show that men get pedicures, men, keep up with themselves. We like to look good too. So I think it was just nice to show that to the world, that it's not,
it's not always rah,
stereotype of certain people that do that. Yeah. So it was fun. I love the scene. I thought it was also fun that they were giving marital advice to Martin. It was a really good scene, fun scene. So I'm interested to see what else the men are going to bring into this season.
Yes.
I always get them together over there. They're super duper funny. I like that they're taking self-care is important, as Eugene knows from his wife Toya. And I think that it's nice that they all got a chance to just sit around and kick it in their suits, and they all look so nice.
They did look nice. I thought that was a great idea. They really did.
Fashion was better than the women.
Ain't it though? But you know what? We gotta mention this. Dr. Eugene went to see Dr. Damon. If Dr. Eugene has to cry out to anybody else for help, he needs a lifeline. He needs to phone a friend. We gotta help Dr. Eugene. He probably got 60 seconds left in him. Go ahead, Sebastian. What did you say?
Well, his wife won't help him, so who do you expect him to go to?
I don't know.
Eugene, blink twice next week to let us know you need help.
Exactly.
We will help you. We will call adult abuse and get you out of there. I promise you, my friend.
Oh my God, he is like crying out for help. Toya is actually seeing a therapist. You know what? What are we going to do about these therapists on these shows? Now, Lady C is pretty. But if Toya has been coming to you for 6 months and she's still a hot mess, maybe she needs several doctors on her care to get her all the way together. But this is problematic. I'm not. So I don't know.
Is she a therapist or is she like a life coach? It was giving me more like pastoral help. Yeah. Like,
listen, let me tell you something. I don't know which one she was, but let me say this:
professional help. She needs professional help. It wasn't professional help.
Somebody that can have a pad with a blue script and prescribe some things to her. Because Lady C, if you've been seeing Lady C for 6 months, and you still a whole hot mess, and you don't get the fact that you get to stay at home and your husband was working in the ER. And all that he went through, girl, when he got home, you should have had his bath ready, his shower ready, with his towel and his food and everything else, his dinner. She doesn't get it. That chick is like, she's out there. Everything she talks about is a circle moment that come right back to me, myself, and I. She
They're
is
going to
a
be the first to
horrible,
sign up
yeah,
for
she's a
Heavenly and
horrible
Damon's
wife.
parental
Pretty, she's
advice.
gorgeous, but nothing else after that. Don, what do you have to say about your girl Toya?
I just feel, I mean, even though Dr. Eugene has his moments, I feel so bad for him. This man literally spent, like other doctors, a year plus in the ER, during COVID, saving people's lives. And she witnessed this man come home like literally drained, like
Yeah,
every night. And you can tell he's not mentally back to his old self. That season of COVID really took a lot out of him.
yep,
And she's still being selfish.
yep,
She's still wanting more for him. Like, this is the period where you have to be selfless and pour into your partner,
yes,
and and be like, let me, I know you can't do this for me right now, let me give you a little bit. But she's still looking for more from this man. He's going to work 10-12 hours a day, and she's still wanting more from him. I've never seen such a selfish woman in my life. Like, he does everything, and she does. She's keeping the home up. She's taking good care of their sons, but pour a little more into this man. After that season, he's empty. He's empty. He's ready to leave his job, and she's draining him even more.
And I mean,
Well,
he's
Dawn,
not
I have to
on the
question
hold
whether or
on
not
one
she's
second,
even taking care
because
of
I
the.
want to be able to hear everybody. But give me 1 minute. I've seen spoiled people, right? But this right here is over the top. And what
Good
people
night.
have to understand in relationships is not going to be 50-50 all the time. Sometimes you got to give 80 because the other person, all they got is 20. Okay. And sometimes they giving you, sometimes it is 50-50, sometimes it's 100, it's 0. It depends on the season and the time of your relationship, that what you're going through. When
Right.
he has went through what he went through, and you can still see that this man is crying out, I want to leave the ER. I'm just trying to look for the path or which way to go. As a wife, you should be saying, honey, maybe you can go A, maybe you could go B, maybe you could go C. Maybe go talk to Dr. Damon and see how he transitioned out of the ER and still is successful and able to take care of his family. But instead, no, you like, but why? Why, girl? Because I done seen 900 people pass right before my eyes. What are you not
Right.
getting? Hold on 1 second, guys. Smoke is in the building. Hey, Smoke, what do you want to add to this conversation?
I mean,
Whoops.
I'll just say this. I think the reason why Toya is so selfish and self-centered, her mind ain't right, is because Mariah smacked the hell out of her with that pocketbook by the That's the reason why Toya ain't right. So, if anything, Eugene and Toya have a case in court because Toya got brain damage from getting smacked but not only by Mariah, by her mama too, because she snuck up behind her
She
and
sure
cracked her
did.
with that clutch.
She sure did. Miss Lucy came up, bam.
No,
Bam.
she stuck it in there. She waited for her opener. She just popped her in her head like she was
Oh,
some
okay.
child in
Because I
church.
know Mariah was like, bam, she took that person, slapped her. Then Miss Lucy came up behind her.
And bopped her, just bopped her upside her head. She jumped her. It was a jumping. Toya got jumped and got brain damage.
Shit.
Now her husband is suffering for it.
I got to
That's
agree with
crazy.
Smoke. That was funny. I
Yeah.
got to agree with Smoke. That's true.
But I even question like Toya's, and I not in a disrespectful way, but I even question her mothering standpoint, because if y'all go back and think about it, every season when there have been always a problem with one of the boys every time, and it's always I'm gonna talk to your dad, and Eugene has to get involved. It's like Eugene has to be involved in every single detail all the time, plus work 100 hours, plus still be a husband, plus
And
still
cook.
trying to be a father and cook and pay the mortgage and pay these liens off. It's just like everything on top. I mean, what more can you ask from this man? This man has given her everything in this Diva, you ain't right. Stop it.
Wait, Diva, I have a question though.
Wait, hold on 1 second, guys. You said in the league.
She
They
not
move
paying.
it every season. They move it every season, so Roy years maybe on to
Oh
something.
God. Okay, y'all killing me. Who was trying to say something? I'm sorry.
Oh, smoke
Diva,
was
I
trying to
have
say
a question. Didn't Eugene have like a practice where he was basically bringing like IV drips to people's like house, almost like
yes,
And
for their
Toya
house
messed that
diet?
up too.
What
She
happened to
messed
that
that up too.
business?
She messed it up.
That up. That was
How she messed it up, Roy, or what happened?
Oh no!
I want to
That
hear
would have been
this one.
good for
Anything
him.
that Toya is a part of, if y'all really think about it, anything that Toya gets involved in or has been involved, that's just like she was the one supposedly running all of their finances
Oh
when
yeah,
all of
that's
this
right.
stuff went down. So
That's
why come
true.
every time your hands is in stuff, it falls apart? He can't trust her to do
Wow.
anything, which is why Eugene is always on top of everything, and then he's not allowing her to make those things go. He's not allowing her to clean up the messes that she makes. He's
No,
always
you know
picking up
what
behind
happens?
her.
I think. Listen, and I don't mean this in a harmful way. Every now and then, you got to be the man of the house and put your foot down and say enough is enough.
Yeah.
So he has to kind of man up and
He
say,
does.
you know what, Toya? And I thought he did it for a second.
Yeah.
A second when they was in that house and said, listen, this house is our biggest bill and we're going to move. Okay. After that, he lost his balls again. It's like, what the heck? Because you let her throw we got out of debt party. The second you wrote the last check to the IRS, she's throwing a party. Eugene, like, wake up. And he was at the party smiling and enjoying it.
Right.
So
They're crazy.
he needs to step up and man up because he can put an end to this nonsense by telling her, look, I love you. You staying home. We're not going to spend all this money. We're not buying a 20,000 square foot home with a Olympic-sized pool for what and for who?
And
What
a
am I
5-story
gonna do
closet.
Elevator.
A 5-story closet.
Yes.
But you guys know what? She was buying $2,000 cigars when they went to Vegas. She was buying $2,000 cigars and smoking them right then. She wasn't even like, oh, let me cherish this for a second. She smoked $2,000, y'all, after the man said he doesn't want to work no more. Her idea is to smoke a $2,000 cigar. He says, I don't want to work. She says, oh, okay. I'll go smoke a $2,000 cigar. She's crazy. And then he feels like he's drowning and they show her in therapy. She's backwards. She's not a helpmate. She's working that man into an early grave. We're going to get him the signals for him for how many times he can blink so that we don't have to call APS because Camila right. Adult Protective Services is on the way, Toya. You better stop abusing your husband. You need to stop.
This is what I added to it too because y'all remember last season when the whole pandemic was going on. Now everybody was shut down, the whole world. Now she's sitting up there talking about I can't even go to the tennis court and play tennis. I need to drink some wine. I need to get rid of my boys so I can go and do this. So when Eugene comes home from like 20 hours in the ER, he sits down after he gets out his clothes, he sits on the couch. Why can't we go to Paris? I want to do something. I'm just stuck in this house. I'm going crazy. Okay, the world is in crisis. Your husband just saw, people just, passing out all day long. You can't give this man not 1 ounce of his time to talk about his feelings. Eugene has yet to sit there and talk to Toya for her to listen, just really sit there and listen to how his days actually are in that ER. And we're still going through the problem, not as bad as we were in 2020, but we're still having it. She's not listening to this man. This man is giving up his dream job. He wants to leave that job where she said, oh, I need to go get us another house. I need us to get a $2 million. Oh, let's go to Vegas. Like Kerr said, she was smoking $2,000 worth of cigars. Then she want to get upset because Eugene is sleeping 10 hours a day because he's working 20 hours a day and they don't get a chance to see, he don't get a chance to watch his children. I wonder why.
So hold on 1 second, because Dewan said, but Eugene tweeted yesterday that Toya makes more money than him. I'm sure she
What?
Well, she probably does from Married to Medicine, right? Because
That
she's
is
been on
probably
there. She's
true.
been on there. She's been
Yeah.
on there from the.
Come on,
She's been
What
Dr.
on
you say,
there.
Kurz. Come
Curves?
on, Kurz. Get it. I want to know.
She's been on there from the
Notable
beginning, right?
Fortune 500 spends her time strategizing ways to grow her company, TBH Entertainment, which is a boutique.
What?
Who Toya?
Here, she got a boutique.
That's supposed to be the business that she's opening this season. I think she's supposed to show it on the show this season.
Really?
Well, she's
Yeah.
not currently doing anything. She worked for a notable pharmaceutical company. She earned a master's in education. But that's it. It's not saying that she currently isn't doing anything.
She
But
earned a
see-
Well,
master's
he
in
must have
education.
deleted that
No
tweet because I
response.
sure don't see it.
But see, this is where Anila is smart with hers, because at least social media influencers make a lot of money
Right.
Yes, they do.
per
Yes, they do.
post.
Yes.
They make a lot of money per post. So
Yeah.
if Toya could do the same thing. Her boys are in school during the
Yeah.
day. What are you doing? What is she doing? She could be doing this. She could
Drinking
be
and playing
marketing herself.
tennis.
Right. She could be marketing herself. She could be doing lots of things, taking advantage of this time. She's depending on this Married to Medicine check. And like Dr. Heavenly said, at any time they can say we don't need you. And then
Right.
what?
Mhm.
She's not
flipping
setting herself up properly. But
Nope.
and you know what? Even if she wasn't setting herself up properly, the disrespect to her husband is unbelievable. He finally had to say in the confessional, like, stop acting like you're just sexual beast.
Right.
And you're not even like that. Like, she's constantly putting him down. I don't get it. I don't like it, and it's not a good look. And I think he in some way, shape, or form, he love her, but he's sick of her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I'm sick of her. Juanita, you into the building. What do you want to say?
Okay, I'm late. What's going on? What are we talking about?
You
Toya.
late. Well, the latest we're talking about is that Toya needs to learn how to be a wife. If I just summarize it up really quickly.
And respect Eugene.
And respect Eugene. Juanita, are you there? DC, thank you for the super sticker. I truly appreciate it. It's not about the amount they make, it's what they spend and how hard he has to work for it. With DC, I'm with you. We're with you on that. That man is going to work himself into a grave. And actually, do you know what, to be honest with you? I really feel like he's looking his very best lately. He looks really good to me. He looks younger. He looks younger. He's actually, like appearance wise, he's looking better to me. But you can tell he's crying out every moment he gets. He's crying for help.
Back in season 5, Dr. Jackie was really big on him getting his health together. And ever since then, Eugene has been looking really good. Like, I really think that he took that. I believe he was having some health issues, and he really took that serious, and he's been looking really good. Like, I'm very proud to see Eugene still holding on to that same. He hasn't gained weight. He hasn't lost much weight. He looks really good. I'm glad about that. I'm really happy about that.
I feel that way too.
You remember he had high blood pressure because remember when they was in the Bahamas and he almost passed out?
That's what it was.
And that's when Dr. Jackie told him he needs to get himself together, sit down, take a load. But see, the biggest stress that's running up his blood pressure is in the house with him.
It's the lady that's laying in the bed next to him.
Right. He can get rid of that rock, that big piece of stress.
Right.
I promise you his life will be soaring. I bet you that man will lose 150 pounds and look skinnier than me. And y'all know I'm
But here's the thing though. When Toya is away on these girls' vacation, he is living stress-free. Like you see, he be smiling when he goes out with the guys. Even when he's arguing with Kiran, he looked like he had a load off. So it's just kind of like the less Toya is around, the happier Eugene is. So that's probably why he spends 20 hours in the hospital, because he don't want to come home to her.
When you don't have no peace in the house, that's the worst thing. When you can't go
Hey,
home
It's
in
the
peace,
worst thing.
Hey,
you
I
are happy
remember
everywhere else.
when she was cooking, and he said, "I'm gonna go get me a white woman," and she said, "Well, what about are they better than me?" He said they might be a lot quieter, something like that. He said that, and she gonna get that little steak face. I mean, he telling the truth because I wouldn't want to come home to you either. What
I
man
wonder why did he even feel compelled to let us know Toya makes more than him when everybody on the show, including Dr. Heavenly, is giving Dr. Eugene props on how much money he makes? Like, she emasculates him, and his response is to cover her.
Right.
I don't get that.
He's abused, y'all. That's abused behavior.
Yeah, that's abuse. That's abuse.
My opinion, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly, yes. That's allegedly. So we're gonna close this out with Anila is at home. Her house looks like a junkyard, and in comparison, it's always something messy going on with her and that mama there. But you know what? Mama came out of her mouth, out the side of her mouth, talking about Miss Gomez didn't teach them kids nothing, and neither did she. I said, now come on, mama, you better calm down, because if it wasn't for Miss Gomez, yes, that's what I'm talking about.
And her pinto beans.
I was like that, I ain't got no problems with her mother. But when she wanted to come at Miss Gomez, I was like, yo, she better
took it
calm
all the way
down.
left.
She was out of line talking about Miss Gomez.
Come on, Juanita.
Yes, she was.
She was out of line. She was out of line and
Well,
out of
even
pocket.
Anila said in her confessional, she said, Miss what's her name? Sorry, y'all.
Miss Gomez. You can't miss up Miss Gomez.
Took care of
everything.
Everything. So that's probably a lot of why Miss Gomez left, because she was doing everything. And I can't imagine, not only was you picking up behind the kids, you picking up behind Anila, you're raising the kids, you're taking, I believe literally that was the one scene that Anila takes them kids to school back on episode 3 or 4, because you could tell she was just so disoriented. It was so unorganized. So we miss Miss Gomez, and how dare you, Mama Anila, how dare you talk about Miss Gomez like that? You just mad because you have to come back and you're seeing the reflection of how you raised your daughter, and it ain't that well. So
well, did you guys see the flashback that they was doing about what all Miss Gomez was doing in the house?
Yeah.
Anila forgot something. She got it for her, and all that. Anila's just lazy and nasty.
But let me tell you this.
You know what's wrong with Anila? She's not used to doing anything.
Well, yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is for her, right?
Let me backtrack.
She had to go try to clean the floor before the floor got stained. She don't know how to do nothing. She can't cook those pinto beans. She can't clean up after the kids. She can't get the kids to school on time because she got a laundry. I got a blog.
Let me backtrack. I won't say that she's nasty. It's like you said, she just don't know because she's never had to do it.
But let me I look minus Miss Gomez. I agree with what the mama said. Them kids need to be bringing them plates to the sink. Them kids need to be straightened up after themselves. Them kids need to be doing something other than eating, messing up, and then going playing, messing up, and then talking back and messing up some more. They can do their little part. They ain't got to be paying bills, but they can do their little part around the house. And I believe
they know how to, though. I don't think they know how to, because Anila doesn't.
And
but I think Anila mama, she with all them kids, she taught them how to bring them plates to the sink at least. She said they got them plates over there.
Anila mama is messy herself. She
that's what I'm about to say.
She said she didn't get a chance to clean up the breakfast mess.
Yeah,
I would have left it right there. I would have left it right there too. The mama need to come clean it up. I ain't y'all slave.
Anila is blogging.
Them kids old enough. Them kids old enough to make a mess. Y'all can walk. Y'all can bring them plates to the sink.
Thank you.
I only feel like this isn't right because Anila's mom knew that she was coming over to take the place of Miss Gonzalez or Miss Gomez, I'm sorry. And so she needs to be prepared to do some of the things Miss Gomez said to do. And some of them, okay, Like, don't wash the dishes. Maybe you take them over there so there's not piles everywhere in my new house where the cow just shit on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave some things, but not everything, Mom.
But
Come on now.
but wait a minute. I'm sure they have a dishwasher. What's
Yeah,
happening
but
with
now
the dishwasher?
she just told her mom, I have a person coming. I have to go upstairs. And instead of doing anything downstairs, what's the mom come do? Interrupt her blogging.
And no, she took the coat and put it on the top. Like, why
Yeah.
like this? Oh,
Yeah,
this is
like,
good.
so is she
And
there
Anila
to
was
help?
like,
Is she there for camera time? Or does she just want to live there rent-free the way that Anila does? And if that's the case, then stop faking it, because Anila's drowning and she needs some serious help, y'all. She needs some serious help. And it's okay that she didn't teach her kids that stuff because she got money to pay for somebody else to do it. But next time you get a nanny like Miss Gomez, have her teach the kids to take the dishes to the sink. Make sure
and that's all we're saying is Anila needs to learn how to teach her kids. Her mother is correct in that aspect, but what her mother needs to do is learn how to follow the rules. Because if you come to my house, regardless whether you're my mother or not, if you got rules for me at your home, I'm gonna have
Right.
for you.
You got it, Canelo. You're right.
Yeah, you can be. I mean, you can be very respectful and say, "Mama, I need you to follow these rules. These are the house rules." My mom, when she stayed with me for 3 days, I had house rules, but she didn't. She followed them, but there was really nothing to follow because she came in, she did what she did, and she left. She was not. She did not disrespect the house at all. Miss Manjula, she goes through the house and just destroys the house, rips up the rules. I not father, I'm the grandmother. I know what they do.
But
Okay,
I guarantee you, Dr. Karen is not going to put up with it too much longer.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Karen, you're right, Miss Juanita. Dr. Karen is upset that their mama and daddy is there. He said your mother and daddy is nasty. Before they got there, y'all see how he told her. Y'all see how that house looked before they got there. Even when Miss Gomez,
but that was Miss Gomez.
No, that was after. That was after. I'm saying, remember when Anila was in Vegas? You see how clean that house was?
Oh, yeah, how he did it. Yeah.
Yes, that house was clean. Soon as they get there, he had to pull their luggage into the house. Then as soon as they get in there, you got her, while they was showing their flashback, she getting food and she dropping food all on the table and the floor. I'm sitting here like,
that's
really?
just nasty.
But wait, misbehave. Hold on, Canelo. Misbehave and have fun. Anila's mama thought she was coming to be grandma. I'm trying to tell you, not a modern day slave. Now you doing too much.
That took me out.
And come over here to do all this. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, washing dishes, sweeping floors. No, I'm grandma.
Grandma not gonna let him run away like Miss Gomez did. She'll stay there to the end.
Miss Juanita, Grandma is gonna run Kiran out of that house. I'm telling you,
that's what's gonna happen.
She gonna run them to divorce court. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
We need in the meantime Mary maids, Molly maids, something.
They need something. But you know what? Overall, I liked the episode, right? Because it was like a fun-filled, heartfelt episode. I really did enjoy it. We need a little bit more of this. It was good. So I did like it. So we're about to go to our round table and close out. It was a great episode. And, tomorrow we get to see, Beverly Hills again. And I'll be doing my Beverly Hills recap on Thursday. And don't forget, Saturday is my interview with the guy who is adopting a baby from Haiti that he found in the trash. Really amazing story. So, Smoke, we'll start with you. What is your final words on this Married to Medicine episode?
Just like you, I really like that it was lighthearted and that we got to talk about some serious things. We got confirmation that Toya definitely is not correct in the head. So we need to send out prayers, call the prayer line, get the prayer warriors, the deaconess for Toya Bush Harris, because if she don't get help soon or meet Jesus, I feel well.
Look, Smoke, we already got her on the sick and shut in list, so we doing that. Confirm that. Dr. Heavenly, I love Dr. Heavenly. I feel
you're breaking up.
That her mom passed away, but I really like her curve. Wait, can you hear me? Hello?
Now we can. Now go
You
ahead.
know,
Yes.
We
can
can
you
hear
hear me?
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was saying like I love Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly's relationship, especially Dr. Damon. They truly respect each other. Now Heavenly needs to listen to him when he says like you are part of this problem and you need to like tamper it down. There's a way to do something, not cause this trouble.
Right.
What else was happening on this? Anila need to kick her mama out her house because all I could just see is like she done missed the whole shot. Her house is dirty. Her mama interrupted her work. Lady, you got to go. Either you leave this house or I'm sending your ass back to mess. Don't mess with me in my own house at all. But I can't wait for next week for Quad's housewarming and for Audra
Ooh.
to air out Toya and her leaves and apparently the man she's sleeping with on the tennis court around the neighborhood. I'm excited, but
Oh,
I can't wait for the mess. I can't wait for, and I'm glad that Heavenly's not in the mess. It's so somebody else, so I'm happy for that.
Yeah,
okay.
somebody else is catching the heat. The break dancers at this housewarming. Okay. We're gonna see how this goes next week.
But it was good,
Okay.
Kiva. It looked good.
Everybody want to be over the top for real though. Okay, like I said, okay, we're gonna see how this goes down. But Juanita, what are your final thoughts?
Well, you know what? I have to say, I love the scene with Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon sitting there eating lunch and the way she was talking to him. And that scene I just love. But now that Toya, Lord, what am I going to do with my Toya? I used to love her. But now that child really needs help. I mean, you got a husband working 12 hours a day, doing what he's supposed to do. And all you doing is just complaining and spending up money and bending your elbow with that glass of wine or Hennessy or Patron or whatever that is she like. You got to cut that out, girl. You got to get down to business. You got to help Dr. Eugene.
Juanita, wait, hold on, Juanita, because Flip said we got to do a docu-series. We're going to do a docu-series on surviving Toya. Pray for Eugene. But go ahead. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
that would be good. Poor Eugene, poor Eugene, poor Eugene. That's all. Poor Eugene. But overall, it was good. I enjoyed it, especially I'm not a heavenly angel, but I enjoyed that scene.
I did too. I really did. Warrior, Flip solved this for us, but go ahead. What are your final thoughts?
This episode was a good episode. I love how Heavenly came and got herself together. She has apologized to Dr. Damon. They are back in good standings. And RIP to Heavenly's mom. I have 2 aunts that are currently in hospice, which is why this has just been a crazy week this week. So for those who believe, just pray for God's will be done in their lives and for our family, please.
Yes.
But great episode this week. I'm sick. Thank you, Anila. I'm sick and tired of Contessa and this back and forth. Choose this day what you're gonna be and stay that way, please. We are gonna go ahead and sign up Dr. Eugene and Toya for Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly's marital conference because they got to be first on the list. Anila, I agree with Smoke. Mama got to go. Mama interrupting the peace. Dr. Kiran. We haven't even seen Kiran home since Anila's mama done moved in.
No, because he's trying to hide away.
She got to go. She got to go.
Yes, she do got to go.
Yes.
He doing extra shifts, giving
I
people
love
bow
the scene
ties.
with Quad.
Oh, that was cute.
I love the scene with Quad and her son. I believe that was his mom.
That's the mom. Yes,
person
we didn't forget that was his mom.
That was mom. So yeah,
the
mom is still there. We
That's
support
nice.
mom still.
Yeah,
so,
I was wondering.
That was nice. Yep, I do remember. That was a
little bit more of her next week. Yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit more of her next week. Like I said last week, I did go back and rewatch that interview. And so she will be in this season, just, a little cameo. So I'm glad to know that she is still in his life. And I'm just excited to see next week's episode. We're getting closer to the reunion. So y'all get excited.
Well, listen, we're about to see. First, we're gonna see that Royal reunion, and it's gonna be a hot mess. But anyway, John, I gotta move to you. What are your overall thoughts?
Team Black Love.
Yeah.
I love to see Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly. They set good examples.
Yes, they do.
I love to see the fellas get together, and it
Yes.
be no hostile moments. That's why Married to Medicine is a thriving show because
Yeah.
of the separation. The men have their own. It's like they have their own cast. The women have their
Yes.
own cast, and then they all come together. So it's
Yeah.
like I like to see that part too. And Dr. Karen did a good job with setting that up. I think Dr. Scott and Dr. Contessa need to get their estrogen and testosterone shots back to the correct people. It's like they swap shots this week.
I'm not doing that.
So I think they need to get their shots back. Somebody messed up with the Amazon delivery.
Oh, see, you ain't right.
I'm not doing this. Y'all ain't putting me in a hospital tonight.
They got you fanning, Canelo. They got you fanning.
I think,
no, it started with flipping. Now I'm done doing this. I almost passed out laughing at flip.
Toya and Eugene, man. Eugene, man, bro. It's time to go. Get your boys and leave, man. Get you a condo, Midtown Atlanta. Let her go back to Detroit.
Ooh. Without counseling, without trying to get counseling, though.
No, she need her own counseling on her own.
But we don't want to save this marriage. We don't want to save the marriage.
It cannot be, but we have tried. We have tried.
We tried. The council has tried.
9 seasons of disrespecting Eugene. How many more?
Yeah, she continues to disrespect this man, and I'm team Black Love, but she disrespects this man every scene, every
Not
season.
an abusive Black Love.
So I'm over her disrespecting him. If it was the other way around, they'd be like, leave that Black lover alone.
You better say it. You better say it.
We gotta be pro Eugene on this. So
I'm pro Eugene. I'm pro Eugene.
It's time for Eugene to grow a pair.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for next week's episode too. This was a positive episode, but we ready for some mess.
Some bobblehead.
Yeah.
Okay, so who did I miss here? Sebastian, what are your final words? I'm coming to you, Canelo.
This episode was very good. I like this episode, the way it started with Heavenly, of course, as it should be starting with. And yes, Canelo, yes, it should be starting with Heavenly. Toya, she A's that man, and I'm tired of seeing it. I do not. If she's gonna come back next season, I do not want to see her Aing that man. I don't. The fact that he's working, he's cooking, it's just too much, and all you do is play tennis and sleep around with other people allegedly.
Ooh.
But
not my Toya.
Well, that's what the streets of Atlanta are saying. It's just I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. At this point, what needs to happen? They need to probably reinstate Middle Ages, the rules that they had in the Middle Ages, where they would beat wives and husbands for cheating.
No, I'm clutching my pearls now.
Okay, Juanita, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I'm tired of seeing this.
Yeah, we're not doing that because a lot of people on that show would have had to get a beating. People would have had to get a beating. Dr. G would have had to get a beating.
Curtis
would have had to get a beating.
I agree.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Look, go on and throw Contessa's husband in there too, because allegedly.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, Scott would have had to get a beating. Yeah, we do that.
Everybody but Dr. Damon. We love Dr.
Damon. Dr. Damon's the only one that qualified not to get.
Yeah, that's it.
Because his wife makes sure that he doesn't get any outside.
Listen. Sin City, we're closing now. What do you want to add to this conversation?
Where's my Starbucks card, Diva?
She said, run her money.
The shade.
Oh, snap.
No, Sid, wait,
She's
hold on.
She
What was the
read
bet
you.
again? What was the bet again?
She by Sheree.
Oh, you know what? It
Have we
was
been
she.
able to purchase
Okay,
anything?
okay. It was she by Sheree. But wait
Diva,
a
why
minute.
you
What was?
panicking? Why you panicking like that for? You ain't got her money? You did
Roll
you
back
donate
that
to
old
Sheree's
footage.
line?
Oh my God. Okay, make it no.
Wait, no, Sid. No, Sid. Remind me more. What did I say? What? Because how did I
You said
lose?
that
How did I lose?
you said that she by Sheree would roll out,
Okay.
and I said it would not, and I would give
Oh,
you a nice Starbucks
Right.
Starbucks cup if you won, and I
Right.
would get a Starbucks gift card if I won. Have you been able to
Right.
purchase anything by Sheree?
But no. Hold on, Sid. How did I lose? The site is up. The site is up.
It sure
There's a
is.
T-shirt that said, "Who gonna check me, boo?" And it's $142.
But
Okay.
who gonna buy that? Who gonna buy that?
Diva. Sin
Yes.
is right. Sheree did not roll it out. Somebody else did it for her. So
See,
technically, Sheree did.
y'all
And
doing
she
this.
didn't pay for
Can
that.
somebody help me in the chat? Can someone in the chat help me out?
She
Listen,
steals by Sheree. She swindles by Sheree. She scams by Sheree. She's unsuccessful by
Exactly.
Sheree. She has no drive. She
also,
has
Sheree,
absolutely no
Sheree don't
drive
pay.
or
Sheree don't pay.
drive.
That's
Oh
to
no,
my
be
goodness.
Sin,
Yes,
you coming in the
yes.
closeout starting mess.
Well, I
That
came in the
she
I
by
love you, but
Sheree
I can't
has launched.
look. See, got
I
it on
came to
lock.
give
I
I
can't
came
even
to
do
give
a good
Don.
Hold on, Camille. See by Sheree has launched. There's a T-shirt for $142. Who gonna check me, fool? There's a
Mhm.
Yeah.
sweatshirt for $216. Her son is up on the website modeling the clothes. The line is here. The line is
And
here.
what's that other T-shirt say that got the orange in it? That's
Worthy,
140 something. Yeah,
worthy.
Well,
It got
she
raw
Sheree
edges.
won't
It
be
got
wearing
raw
that
edges for like $100 and
100.
something dollars.
diva.
Oh,
Let
thank
us
you,
back
Fifi.
up.
Thank
Let us
you,
back up.
Fifi.
What's it say?
Sin, are you seeing this?
What it
The
say? This
site crashed due to an overwhelming response.
It's back
Yeah,
up.
because
the
she didn't
site
have
Right
It's
crash
now.
back
due to
up.
not being
she
complete.
didn't pay for her she
Let
didn't
us
pay
back
for
up.
Wi-Fi.
Let us
She
back
didn't pay
up.
It's
she
back
didn't pay
up
for the
right now.
setup fee or nothing.
It's
She was
back up
doing
right
that from
now.
her phone.
Okay, awesome.
She
People
was
need
doing
a
it from her
shirt that
phone.
say, "Who gonna pay me, boo?"
There you go. There you go. There you go.
That's
We're gonna
hilarious.
roll that one out faster than her
Listen,
line.
Sin,
But
Sin.
I came here to give high five to Don because everything Don said, I'm with totally and
Oh,
completely. And those kids, I bet you Miss Gomez taught them a thing or two, but they're not gonna tell their mama. Why should they? They're gonna play dumb as long as they can. And the next housekeeper's gonna come in and show them a thing or two, which they already knew. I bet you that she showed them how to do a thing or two. Because
Right.
absolutely, if he can carry a diaper to the trash can,
Credit card.
carry the diaper to the trash can. And I'm so serious. That's the way I raised mine. It doesn't have to look like work. They always want to help anyway. Make them help themselves.
Yeah.
no, you
Toya,
are correct.
Toya,
Sin,
oh my God, I
Sin,
can't with
Sin,
Toya.
hold on, Sin, because I'm not gonna let you slip by because you came in the building with some heat. So we're gonna deal with the heat. We're gonna deal with the heat. Okay. You came in the building with some heat. Then
I'm here.
the next live, we will have the jury decide who won our bet. Okay, you can't just
Not
come
the
through here.
jury.
You can't just
Camilla can't do it this time.
You can't just come in here
Oh,
saying
so
talk
put
about
me in the middle of this.
you can't just come in the building talk about I won. No. We go because it's late in the hour right now, right? The next time I come on this live, at the very beginning, we're gonna let the people decide. We're gonna give it to the people. We're gonna hand our case over to the people, and we're gonna let the people decide who won this bet. Okay,
want me to decide
Look,
tonight.
this is giving me very much. This is giving
wait,
me
hold on
very
one
much
second. Let me hear.
Kenya.
I gotta hear from Sin. Sin, are we in
Yes.
agreement?
Is that Thursday?
Yes, Thursday.
So you're gonna come in and have your She by Sheree t-shirt overnight to you so you can wear it on the show? Because that would be fabulous for me.
I cannot with you. You is not trying to kill me tonight. I got a headache already. You
I ain't paying no $142. Thank you, Flip. Flip, I don't know if everybody's gonna know what we're talking about though. But okay,
Yeah.
you gotta tell me how I could do a poll, but I gotta
All you
figure out
gotta do is wear the
how am
shirt.
I.
All you gotta do is get a shirt. All you gotta do is get a shirt, and you
I
won.
ain't paying no $142
No,
for no
$142.
t-shirt. I will make one in my house first with a marker
You better know it.
in a no. Okay, Flip, I think I'm gonna see if I can do a poll, okay? Yeah. Yeah, they trying to
That
get me. They
argument,
trying to get me. Sin just slipped in here talking about, oh, you lost. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't
Diva,
doing that.
that dispute
Yes.
kind of gave me a little bit of Kenya and Sanya. When Sanya picked up that phone and called Kenya and was like, girl, I'm asleep. You were giving me Kenya. He was giving me Sanya. That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
I wouldn't do that to
Oh
Diva.
my God.
I'm
I
gonna
can't.
call her. I'm gonna call
But
her.
it's
She got
giving
That was
Kenya on the
hilarious.
beat and Tanya being like, Kenya's like, what did I do to you? And you taking a moment. She was like, wait, I owe
I
you money.
can't. I
Diva's like, what
cannot.
do I owe you?
Y'all are crazy. I cannot.
Okay, listen, guys. Listen. I love you guys for coming through. We're about to close this out. Did everybody get their final words in?
I didn't
I
get my
wanted to
final
talk.
word.
I did.
I wanted
Okay,
to
wait.
talk.
Okay. Go ahead, Curbs.
I was just going to say that I feel like this episode was the definition of Married to Medicine. We got
Yeah.
to see their medical practices. We got to see what it was like to interact within a marriage. We got to see it. And that's what I love about this franchise. They don't only give us some drama, they give us some mess, they give us a message, they give us entrepreneurship, they give us Black love, they give us some examples of what not the heck to do, and some great examples of what to do and instill. I feel like Toya, she should go find out. She needs to like a GoFundMe for sense or something. She's gonna find out the hard way, you guys. Ladies, pay attention. Cardi B, pay attention. WAP will only take you so far in any relationship.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
have something.
Yeah, that's
You
that.
need to be able to have a conversation, telling Dr. Jackie, oh, you see how wet it is already?
Oh, but that can come from anywhere, you know.
Yeah, because that can come from anywhere. You need to be able to contribute intellectually, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to pick up the slack. Not being cute and pretty with a WAP isn't the end all and be all. You
Right.
need to be able to perform, and part of performing as a wife is contributing. You can't
Exactly.
take, you can't
Drop
just
the mic.
you can't just take. So Toya's gonna need to find out the hard way. Unfortunately, it's seeming like she's willing to do all of this stuff so that she can look good on TV and be famed like, but it's not going to pan out in the long run. He is going to find someplace else to have a soft spot to land, because every time that man comes home from work, she's at him. Even like, why are you guys arguing so much? They have a 14,000 square foot house, and the kids could be someplace else, and they even know that these parents are arguing too much because she's always at that man. She needs to be, like Royer said, from
It's
Dr.
sad to watch.
I was gonna say, is it true that she is cheating? That could be the reason?
I don't know. You know, even if
we're gonna find out, but do your close out, Camilla.
But I'm talking about
wrap this up.
All right.
To me, she kind of feels like her being cute and sexy with WAP is good enough for Eugene. And that's not a relationship. That does not a relationship make. Trust me. It's
Find him a good country girl that know how to cook and know how to
you gotta know how to do the other stuff.
Well, don't be hip, girl.
Strive to be well-rounded humans.
Exactly.
Don't rely on any one thing, you guys. That's all I got to say about about Toya. But and I love the one thing about the fellas. It was the opposite of toxic masculinity. So I love it. I love it.
That was good.
Know how to interact and be men in a different kind of way. You know what I'm saying? I loved it.
I loved it.
Married to Medicine. I give it a 10.
I give it a 10 too.
I do
right. Everybody throw in the chat from 1 to 10. What do you give that episode? I definitely give it a 10. Canelo, what's your closeout?
Now, my closeout is I enjoyed this episode. Dr. Kiran is the MVP of this episode. That man had me in tears. That man almost killed me like all of y'all. He had me fall down. That man is hilarious. Do not sleep on Dr. Kiran. Toya needs to learn humility. Well, she'll never learn because she's been on here 9 years and she's still doing the same thing. Dr. Eugene, please blink 5 times if you need us to save you. Because I would definitely have Grady to come pick you up on Monday. I promise you. Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon, I enjoyed them. I really did like their scene. They really brought it home.
They
And
did.
Contessa and Scott, as much as like Don said, Mr. Contessa, as much as she gets on my nerves, I enjoyed that little scene with them too. Now, Dr. Jackie brought a lot of knowledge to the women, who don't really go get checkups. I love that scene because even though
That's
Dr.
true.
Jackie is underhandedly sneaky, and I love Dr. Jackie,
Me
even
too.
though she's underhanded shady, she definitely brings the messages that needs to be brought.
He does.
She does.
She tries to stay out of the mess, but when she does get messy, she bring it back home with knowledge and making sure women take care of themselves.
That's a good point, Canelo. She really
I
does,
love that.
and you gotta appreciate that.
Yes.
Listen, guys, don't forget
Can we
to
just
hit
give
the
a shout
thumbs
out
up.
to
Go ahead,
Dr.
Ryan.
Jackie, to the LGBT? Can we give a shout out to Dr.
Yes.
Jackie just supporting the
Yes,
Yes,
LGBT
indeed.
community?
yes,
Like,
yes,
thank you
yes.
so
She
much.
did good. Yes,
Excellent.
she told the truth.
She did. Thank you for bringing that up, Rhea. She most certainly did. But it connects to what Canelo is saying, right? She's always throwing a pinch of education in there for us,
Yes.
and I do like that. I'm glad you brought that up, right? It was really, really good. I do like Dr. Jackie. I like what she's doing with her practice, and I like that she is truly into medicine and
Right.
helping the females. I like it. It was a good moment with Dr. Jackie. I did shade her for a minute, but y'all helped bring it back. You're right.
Oh, she is shaded now. I'm not gonna lie.
I did. I threw a little shade here, but I missed that. You're right. She
You
did.
had to give her a
I
taste
did.
of her own medicine, Diva. You
I
did
did
that
right. But I did like that moment with her. I really do appreciate her because she does throw a pinch of education in there, and that's why this group, Married to Medicine, they are top notch. They really
Right.
are. No matter what drama goes on there, they do a lot of stuff in the community for the community. They talk about health and medicine a lot. I really do like them. Did anybody else need to close out? Did everybody get their closeout moment? I think everybody did. Listen, guys, for all of my content creators that are in the building, y'all seen them before. Please make sure you go over to their page and like it and subscribe. All my content creators, please, 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 please throw your info in the chat so that everybody can go follow you. Curves is exactly as you see it as a name. Canilla, thank you, Canilla. He's gonna do it for me. Yeah, do it. Yeah. Canilo's exactly how his name is. So thank you guys, because without everybody having their opinion, this is what makes the show. So I really do enjoy you guys for coming in, sharing a moment with us when we do these recaps. Yes, much love. And how do you do this, angels? How do y'all do this thing? Okay, whatever. To the heavenly angels. To the heavenly angels. Y'all need an emoji. Y'all most certainly need an emoji. But I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Much love. I had so much fun with y'all. And I'll see y'all on Thursday for what is it, Beverly Hills recap.
Beverly Hills.
And I'm working
Okay,
on
I won't be here Thursday, but I'll catch the recap.
catch the recap. And listen,
Okay.
I am working on a really good interview. Not the one on Saturday. There's another one in the works. I hope it comes through. I'll talk to you about it once the person confirms. But thank you guys, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.